Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks. Okay, so let's talk about USPS. That's the United States Postal Service. So there's something called UAA, undeliverable as addressed. Sometimes mail has been sent, but for a variety of reasons, it may have not been received. Okay, now there is a mail recovery center, which is literally like the official lost and found, where for 30 to 60 days, mail can be held. After the 30 to 60 days. Now, if any of this information is skewed, please forgive me. If you work with the USPS, you are the real MVPs and the elves of the holiday season. Much love and appreciation to you. Please use the comment section to provide any details and facts that I may have skewed. Much love. Here we go. Now, after 30 to 60 days, the staff may open packages in order to find clues about the sender or the recipient. Any items that are valued over $25 are going to be held longer than the 30 to 60 day window, okay? Now, items that have not been claimed, they can be auctioned. You can't just walk up and take them, but you can participate in an auction for packages that are not claimed. Now, let's talk about the reasons why people may not have been able to receive their mail. One is insufficient postage. Somebody was short on money, right? You didn't get it because wherever it was being sent to, whatever was paid for it, it just didn't cover the cost of its delivery fee or its travel, right? So one, not enough money to send it to where you wanted it to go. Next is incorrect or incomplete address. Whatever the address is that the USPS has on file, it's incorrect or it's incomplete. It's partial. It's missing something, right? What about recipient refused mail? You have the right, as long as the package is unopened, to refuse the mail, to say, I don't want it, okay? Two other reasons why mail may not have been delivered. One, the unknown address. There was no address attached to the person, the recipient, or the sender, or there was no delivery receptacle, meaning there was enough money, the mail made it, the location was correct, but there was nowhere to leave it. It was empty. It's like, well, where is mail supposed to be delivered? So those are the type of packages that end up in the UAA, mail that is undeliverable as addressed, or the official lost and found. Let's really begin this reading. Now, a mother will soon learn or discover that justice has arrived. This justice that is arriving is to rectify time served and dreams lost. This reading is for you if your most sacred connection, which is between parent-child, specifically mother-child, if that connection in your life on earth in this lifetime, if that has been one of your greatest hurts, this reading is for you. Now consider this. Your mother in this lifetime was with you in other lifetimes. Your feelings about your mother are directly related to your ability to manifest abundance, right? Your mother energy is all about receiving. Imagine this. Just like the USPS sends you mail so that you may receive what is yours, the universe sends you mail energetically so that you can receive what's yours. Now let's talk about lifetimes. So you and your mother in this lifetime, if that relationship has been one of your greatest hurts, one of your greatest offenses, I want you to imagine that your mother came back with you in this lifetime to specifically make sure that you do not receive mail, right? Now, your mother, the way you feel about your mother is directly connected to your ability to manifest abundance, because that's all about receiving. Can you imagine your mother coming back with you in this life to make sure that you are unable to manifest abundance? To make sure that you are unable to receive the mail that is rightfully yours. Listen, to be walking around in a body means that you have a mailbox. Your body, your human vessel is your mailbox. If you have a body, you can carry energy. Energy is mail. The universe can deliver you things. Now listen, everybody don't get the same mail. Yes? The type of body you have determines the type of soul you are carrying. Your soul is ranked. If you have a higher level soul, the type of mail you get from the universe is going to be highly ranked. This is highly classified mail. I'm talking about prophecy. Let's get into it. This reading is also for you if you know in this life you are carrying the vessel of a priest or a priestess, meaning you will hold a priestly office in this life. You will have status in a community. Yes, your devotion, your faithfulness, and your loyalty has set you apart. So when the universe sends you mail, you receive energetic information that matches that of a priestly office. You are a high priest or a high priestess. Let's go a little deeper. The mail that the universe is giving you is prophecy. What is prophecy? It's either telling you the truth about right now, it's telling you the truth about what was, or it's telling you the truth about what will be. At the end of the day, prophecy will fit into one of those three categories. All mail ain't the same. Why is that? Because prophecy is mail. Prophecy is a message under divine influence. That means the creator of this universe, source, the creator of all things, the Most High, sends certain mail to certain vessels, certain mailboxes to certain bodies. A priest and a priestess will receive prophecy, divine mail, under divine influence. Y'all, that's like that first class, high priority type stuff. We're about to go deeper. For this specific soul that I am talking about, your prophecy, your messages come in the form of dreams. I am talking about the sensations, the thoughts, the images, right, that you get while asleep. The universe, the Most High, the divine, sends you prophetic messages while you are resting. That is one of the ways in which you receive your mail, your divine mail. You came back in this life to receive a certain kind of mail in a certain kind of way. Your mother knows this about you. Why? Because you come from a lineage of monks or nuns, meaning if you were to look at the matriarchs, specifically the women in your family, this reading is heavy with matriarch energy. If you were to look at the matriarchs in your family, you may recognize a trend. isolation? Are they paired in relationships? Even if they are in relationships, I want you to think about the quality of that relationship. A lot of times, there will be highly qualified women dating man children, right? They will be dating vessels that appear to be mature, but when you look at the integrity or the quality of the performance of the vessel, the output looks more childlike than it does manlike. Okay. So there could be women in your family that are coupled, but they're coupled in relationships where it may look like an adult, but the reality is their partner is just the oldest child in their house. This is a woman that has dominion over the partner, right? This is not a balanced relationship. So even in relationships, you can choose isolation by dating an energy that is really something you rule as opposed to something you respect. Now, the women in your family, they could be isolated, single, or coupled in those type of relationships. They could be really big on rules. They could be spiritually devoted. They may feel most comfortable by themselves. The things I'm saying could be true about you because this could be something that flows through the vessels, the wombs of the women, mostly in your family. You come from a line of monks, nuns, priests, or priestesses. One of the ways to know that is by looking at the way they live their life. Vows of poverty, financial insecurity. What about a monk or a nun that has made a vow of chastity? You know, how does that impact the relationships? So that means even when in a relationship, you are not really being fulfilled, right? Those are the kind of relationships where you never reach a sexual life. Your romantic life never evolves. It's forever inhibited. Sometimes you can have made a vow in a past life that is living true and through your vessel, meaning whatever mailbox you were rocking in a past life, when you were born in this life, you could be walking around in the same mailbox energetically. The universe is sending you the same mail that you've already received because of a vow you made. So these are vows of monks and nuns that have agreed to deny self, in many ways to fear abundance, right? Now here comes the trick. You are supposed to receive the mail, the messages under divine influence in the form of prophetic dreams because you hold a priestly office in this lifetime. Your mother came back with you to make sure that you did not receive the mail attached to your priestly office. Instead, your mother wanted you to receive the mail aligned with that of a nun or monk, because that is a previous vow that your bloodline is very familiar with. Listen. You are supposed to be living in a chateau energetically in this life, receiving chateau-type luxury mail, stamped from the divine, most high source itself. But instead, your mama wanted you to not receive the mail as if you lived in a chateau. She wanted you to receive mail as if you were living in a monastery, as if you had made a vow of poverty, a vow of self-denial, a vow where your life is filled with isolation, where your flow of abundance is blocked because of the vows that you have made. These are vows of self-punishment, vows of self-sabotage, vows of self-hurt, and vows of self-destruction. How did she do this? How Do you receive your messages from the Most High? In your dreams, you are a prophetic dreamer. Your mother used the exact portal that you receive your messages to corrupt your address. Here's the thing. If I say to you, 5 tufts of hair, what does that mean? Right? Well, that is an adinkra symbol that talks about the intricate hairstyles that priestly beings would wear that would attribute to their status, okay? So that adinkra symbol tells me the status that you hold. Your mother knowingly wanted to separate, divide, and disconnect you. Imagine that the adinkra symbol, which will be on the screen, is your stamp, right? That is your stamp. You know how you can personalize a stamp? That's yours. Your mother wanted you to use a stamp other than your priestly office when you send and receive mail. How does your mother get you to move out of a chateau into a monastery energetically without you knowing? How does your mother get you to divorce, disconnect, or divide yourself energetically from your priestly office and instead move you into a past life vow that is along the lines of that of a monk or a nun, where you have agreed to endless isolation, poverty, and blocked flows of abundance? Listen. Your mother gave their word. Your mother made a swear. Your mother made a pledge that she could get you to abandon and turn your back or walk away from your priestly office. Yo, your mother is cold. Your mother's cold. So imagine that the same skill or prowess that you move with in the spiritual world, so too does your mother. But she's a dream walker. What do I mean by that? Meaning she walks in the dream state to alter, distort, influence, or disrupt the prophetic messages that you receive under divine influence. Yo, she's a porch pirate, but she doesn't necessarily steal your mail. She switches your stamp. She messes with your address. Now let's go back. What are the ways that mail is undeliverable? How does mail end up in the lost and found? Well, sometimes the address is incomplete or incorrect, meaning the way you feel about your mother can change your energy so much so that when the Most High, when the universe wants to send you your priestly mail, your address, your energy, it don't even look like that of a priest or a priestess. Why? Because your mother has corrupted your address. She has made you walk around in a monastery type address, in a monastery type vessel. You're not walking around like you live in a chateau. So when your mail comes, your address is incorrect. You're there, but you're not there energetically. And so guess what? Your mail got to go to the lost and found. Now, what happens if you refuse your mail? Imagine that you have gotten the wrong mail so many times, or your experience with the U.S. Postal Service has been so awful that you're like, fuck it, I don't even want mail, right? You can refuse mail, meaning you can literally say, universe, don't give me nothing else. I'm tired of this bullshit. I don't want it no more. You can block your abundance because your mother has corrupted your ability to receive what is yours. This was the intention. I didn't tell you how she did it yet because she's cold. I didn't tell you, yo. Here. Why else would you not receive your priestly mail? insufficient postage, meaning you were supposed to be operating at a certain frequency or vibration to receive it, but you weren't high enough. Your pockets weren't deep enough, not with true fiat currency, but with energy, meaning listen, you were sent the mail of a priest, but you were walking around like a peasant vibrationally. And so you didn't have enough money to be able to carry what the divine was sending to you. Can you imagine trying to send a message under divine influence that is fit for a man? That is fit for a man, but a boy receives it. That is where truth becomes weaponized because it lacks maturity, it lacks grace and patience and integrity. Yes? And so when there's insufficient postage, the Most High ain't gonna give you a man message if you are a boy vessel. Your postage can't cover the cost of this message. I'm sorry. I can't deliver that to you right now. What about unknown address? Meaning you live in there and don't even know you live in there. You living in a chateau. You walking around as a priest or priestess and don't even know that that's your symbol. That's your stamp. You don't even know that this is you. Can you imagine living in a vessel and not knowing? I didn't tell you how she did it yet, though. Lastly, there's no delivery receptacle, meaning there's nowhere where you could have received the mail. Now that kind of made me think about, there's certain mail that's called like dead mail, And so sometimes, once you move out of that chateau, not everybody returns. Some people move into the monastery and never go back, not because they had to this lifetime, but because their mother messed with them so much so that they refused their mail. They didn't have the incorrect address to receive their prophetic mail, or their address was incomplete, right? Like you didn't put the right zip code. It's like, okay, I know I'm supposed to live in a chateau, but I don't know where, I don't know what, right? Yo, this is real. Here's the thing. Alrighty, I want you to imagine that when you are dreaming, that is a trigger point. When you are dreaming, you essentially become a kernel, a seed. That is when you specifically become a seedling for change because of how you divinely are constructed. Your prophetic mail, your messages under divine influence, meaning the Most High sends mail to your chateau when you are in your dream state. That is when you can be triggered. That's when you are a kernel. Whatever you get in your dream state, what happens next? Imagine a piece of corn popping. Bam. After that, change takes place, and never again are things the same. So listen, I'm talking about 12th house Pisces energy. I dream. Visions, thoughts, images, and sensations that occur in a person's mind when they are sleeping. Your mother is a dream walker, meaning she retreats to hidden spaces. She escapes to the unseen world in order to release. What is she releasing? She is releasing you from your energetic position of living in a chateau, and she is instead assigning you energetically as being at the address of a monk or a nun because of a past life vow. Now, this Holden been with you in many lives. You were monks and nuns in past lives. She has this knowledge. She can alter your subconscious while sleeping in order to get you to live out a vow from another lifetime by tying you to that energy in your dream state, right when you are about to hit the trigger point, when you're about to get the kernel, when the kernel's about to pop. That's when the interruption is made. You are a seedling for change. And so if instead of you receiving your divine prophetic mail, if she can get you to receive the visions, the thoughts, the images, and the sensations of that of a monk, meaning she plants kernels, she plants seeds, where you make willingly vows of chastity, vows of poverty in your sleep, vows of self-denial. You vow to remain isolated. You vow to live with no abundance. Can you imagine self-sabotaging in your sleep? You were supposed to be receiving divine mail, and instead your mother is messing with your packages, making sure that you don't receive. Now that's what she does in your sleep subconsciously. That's subconscious. What does it look like above? It looks like trauma. It looks like the greatest offenses. If you were to tell people what you have lived through with your mother, right? The greatest hurts have the potentials for the greatest offenses. Your mother is an agent of Satan. I want you to imagine that every postal worker that delivers mail. So listen, the Most High, okay, think of a king, okay? When a king wanted to send a message from his kingdom to another, there was a stamp or a seal, many times attached to the ring that he would wear, where he would stamp it in some type of ink, stamp the ring in ink, stamp it on the scroll, and then the trusted soul that only the king could agree to would carry that message from one place to the next. I want you to imagine that at one point, your mother was a trusted soul, right? In order to be your mother, that means that the Most High trusted that soul to carry stability, nurturing, provision, care, and love to you. Your mother was just supposed to get you mail. That's it. Your mother was just supposed to mimic what the universe wanted to deliver to you in this lifetime. So if the universe says you're a priest and you're a priestess, you have a life of abundance, you have a life of love and luxury, you have a place of status, your devotion and your faithfulness have put you here in this life. Yes, you've been a monk. Yes, you've been a nun. Those vows where you agreed to lack in isolation were of the past. But in this present life, we want you to receive this mail. And the way that we make sure that you walk around in status is we send you prophetic messages that not every vessel can have, that not every vessel can hold. So when you open up your mouth and speak, it is very clear that what you are saying came from the Most High. It is under divine influence. Those messages carry weight and rank that will transmute and translate to wealth and privilege and luxury. Community and the society will naturally uphold you because they will be able to discern the weight of your voice, the weight of your message, the weight of your mightiness. They will know who sent you that mail. Now, you got to be able to receive it. Your mother comes back with you because she is a mail courier. Let's call it what it is, of Satan. Of Satan. You carry divine messages. Your mother carries messages of the adversary, of the opposition. Okay? So when the Most High is speaking to you prophetically in your dream state, your mother's moving around in the darkness, a shadow walker, doing the will of Satan, binding you to the vows of your past life. This is happening unconsciously. You were vowing in your dream state to solitude, which is essentially going to self-sabotage you. A status in a community, meaning the community has put you on a platform. You can't be on no platform if you somewhere hidden in solitude, escaping everybody, right? Retreating and running. But you're not receiving the right mail. And so you think you're doing the right thing, but you are really living out a vow as a monk or a nun. And that is not indicative of your 5 tufts of hair. Yes, your mother's a dream walker for Satan. Now let me just say something else. The offense weighs more than the dream, meaning, what's the difference between you and your mother? Okay? What's the difference? Let's talk about it. Why are you you and why is she? Here's the thing. I'll say it again. The greatest hurts have the potential for the greatest offenses. When did your mother become an agent for Satan? When? At any point, right? At any point, your mother in her lifetime, this lifetime, was offended so greatly that she can no longer carry her dreams. Imagine that your lineage, you are supposed to carry prophetic dreams, meaning the dreams and the messages in your mind that you get when you are sleeping are supposed to come from the Most High. But if you don't recover from your greatest hurts, you cannot carry prophetic dreams. Instead, you will carry offenses. But if you are of a priestly vessel, meant to carry prophetic dreams, but you've been too offended to pick them up because you haven't healed, Satan comes to you and instead has the ability to convince you to carry demonic messages, all the while thinking you're carrying prophetic dreams. At some point in your mother's life, she was hurt so deeply. The offense was so great that she would never, ever be able to receive her divine mail. She too was supposed to live at a chateau. But because of a package she received in her life at some point, possibly in her youth. Listen. Every priest or priestess will be trapped, will be tricked, will go through a test. Not everybody passes the test. The difference between you and your mother is you passed your test, meaning you were offended and you were hurt greatly, deeply, repeatedly. But for some reason, you still were able to carry energetically prophetic dreams and prophetic messages, meaning the Most High could still trust you to uphold your priestly position. The Most High knew that no package that will be sent to you in this lifetime can get you to truly walk away from your faith, walk away from your loyalty, or walk away from your devotion. Mean your soul was never going to quit its job, no matter what your mother did to you. Yes, your mother quit her job, quit her priestly office, walked away from it because at some point in her life, she received a package that she couldn't recover from. And that was essentially the last package that she would ever really be able to receive. That was the test she couldn't overcome. And every package after that is going to be a package that is not sent from the Most High because she couldn't pass her test. She couldn't pass her hurt. She couldn't carry a dream again. because the offense of what she received was way too heavy. Her soul became corrupted. So Satan uses her soul to carry his packages, his messages, his thoughts, his sensations, and his images. Right? So the same way that she has been corrupted is the same way that she corrupts in the dream state. It is in the dream state that she promised to attack or negatively influence your pride, your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your ego, right? This is where you literally feel like, oh my God, all my energy is spent. The road is long and I can't go another step. You don't even believe you have gas. You don't see a gas station. You recognize that you're on E and you never again think that you'll ever be able to fill up. You don't think you'll ever get 5 gallons. That's the state of existence that she wants you to live in. Y'all, that's the vow. Y'all, but listen. If I tell you that you've been imprisoned, if I tell you that you were enslaved, I want you to know that that was true because your rights were taken from you. Your dignity was taken from you. Your freedom was taken from you, right? Why? Because you were imprisoned and enslaved subconsciously to a vow of chastity, of poverty, to a vow that looks like that of a monk or a nun. You were trapped in a monastery while living a life of luxury. You were supposed to be, your residence was a chateau, y'all. You could have had an elevator in that thing, right? And so your mother, again and again, has taken her greatest hurts and hurt you so that you reject your priestly office. Because the test that she couldn't pass is the very test that her soul, her sender, Satan, of her messages, they want you to not pass that test. They want you to reject the office. But they can't fire you. But they want you to resign. Listen, Satan wants every high priest and high priestess to walk away from their office. They want you to refuse your own mail. They want you to not truly understand who you are as the receiver of the messages that are being sent. Hurt people hurt people. You don't think your mama knows that you have passed tests in your life that she couldn't? You don't think that hurts her to see you be wiser, stronger, more resilient? No matter what she did to make you feel like you had no more energy, no matter what she did to make you feel like the road was long, no matter what she did to make you feel like you couldn't go another step, you were built different. Yes? You got up. You took another, like she couldn't get you to stop. She couldn't get you to fail. She couldn't get you to quit. No matter how she hurt you, you still passed the test. Can you imagine? So Satan can use your mother. Listen, when you carry offenses, I want you to imagine that you become a residence fit for the enemy. Because you can't carry those prophetic dreams anymore if you've agreed to carry those offenses. So if your mother can get you to carry offenses like how she carried offenses, you will walk away from your priestly office. So she hurts you, subconsciously or consciously, again, under the direction of Satan, again and again and again and again, hoping that you pick up the offense and drop the dream. Y'all, this is real shit. We're not done though. We're not done. There's one more level to this thing. Now, what I'm seeing here is that your mother was trapped. Everybody has a trap, right? When we are tricked, when we are tested, we are going to be tested with something that is bait, right? Meaning, if I want to catch a specific type of animal, I need to trap it. Or in order to trap it, I need to bait it. I need to lure it in with something it loves. In this reading, I see the energy of fortune, luck, and the 10 of Pentacles. Your mother may have a love of money. You know what I get? I'm not being disrespectful. But when I just said a love of money, I saw an older, sweet, round, plump woman up in her ages, 65 and up, in a rose-colored house dress with soft slippers that loves playing the lottery. That loves playing the lottery, but also appears or says that she loves the Lord. So these are people who have a love of money. I want you to imagine some shit I'm about to say to you. Now, sometimes the mail that you receive in life that offends you is not always an act. Can you imagine that being poor is offensive? Some of us, some of y'all, have experienced such extreme journeys of poverty that you have become offended of not having abundance. Can you imagine being so poor that it hurts? Can you imagine being so poor, having so little, that you become offended, that becomes the trap? Imagine if you were supposed to live in a chateau, and one of the ways that you were tested in this life is by extreme poverty. You're going to get to wealth in this life, yes you are, but before you get there, you will live as a monk, you will live as a nun. And it is the way that you live in your poverty that will determine whether or not you have passed your test to sit in your priestly office. Meaning, can you be so poor and still be loyal to the Most High? Can you be so poor and still be devoted to the Most High? Can you be so poor and be faithful to the Most High? Everybody can't do it. Some people only talk to the Most High about money. Can you imagine? That some people have been so offended by their poverty that the greatest dream they will ever carry is money. Y'all, that's some sad shit, because if you know, you know. So I almost get that this matriarch, the poverty that this matriarch, and poverty doesn't always have to deal with actual currency. It can be emotionally. This mother, at some point in her life, was so starved, right? Was so starved of intimacy and love and abundance that she became so hurt, so offended, that she could never carry anything greater than the offense. She could never carry those dreams that prophetically the women in your family were supposed to receive. She would never be home to receive them energetically. She couldn't pass the test. It hurt her too much. And so she has become corrupted. She carries the dreams of Satan, all the while quite possibly thinking that she is receiving divine prophecy, because that's the greatest trick. When you're really one of Satan's greatest henchmen, but you think that you are the intercessor of the Most High, y'all, if that's not a trick. So here's the thing. The trap is baited with something to lure you in. In the event that poverty wrecked the soul of your mother and offended her so greatly, that can also have been the very trap or bait that was set to lure her in. So why would a woman agree or make a promise to get you to abandon or to walk away from your priestly office? She was promised money because Satan knew that she carried that hurt. He knew she carried that offense. She wouldn't be able to pass it. Listen, all money ain't good money. But if you've been offended by extreme poverty, you'll take anything. You'll take any deal is a good deal. You'll sign on any line. Y'all, somebody was paid to offend you, harm you again and again and again in order to corrupt your ability to manifest your own abundance, right? The way you feel about your mother directly relates to your ability to manifest abundance. Your mother wanted to make sure that you felt some way about her, so that you would feel some way about the universe being able to give you the life that in your soul you knew and know you were supposed to have. Y'all, this is some real shit. This is the reading. Now, here's the thing, right? Now, when you pass your test, now what did I say? Let's go back to the lost and found and to the mail that is undeliverable as a trust, okay? Remember, any mail that is over $25 cannot be just claimed. It must be auctioned, right? Let's also consider that when you don't get your proper mail because you are not in the proper mental, emotional, or spiritual state to receive that divine message or that prophetic dream, when you are not in that state to carry that energy, for 30 to 60 days, those messages are going to sit somewhere else, right? That's energy. If you are not fit to carry it, the Most High is going to give it to another priest or another priestess. Okay? And that's okay. 30 to 60 days is going to sit somewhere else. But here's the thing. The Most High is not done with you yet. What was the next step in that mail process? The staff is allowed to open the packages in order to find clues about the sender or the recipient. The staff that is opening the packages of mail that has been undelivered are the fellow high priests and priestesses of the same divine community that are walking in their status. So if the Most High can't get your divine message to you in your dream state, if you are unfit to carry the sensation, the thought, the image, that's okay. That energy doesn't disappear. It's going to sit. And listen, 30 to 60 days for us is like a blink in the spirit world. A sneeze. It ain't nothing. It is a scratch. Now, I say 30 to 60 days, y'all. That could be 30 to 60 years, 30 to 60 weeks, 30 to 60 months. What I'm saying is that we are given time to recognize that we are in a monastery and we are supposed to be living in that chateau down the street. The Most High isn't necessarily done with us. This is our test. Yes? And your mother has been the greatest teacher, your greatest tester. She is your proctor. She is your proctor, meaning everybody was going to be tested. But the way a priest or a priestess is tested means that the offenses and the hurts that you carry will be great. They will be great, meaning many people couldn't carry them, but many people can't have rank. Yes, status is reserved for few. When you can't get your mail because you are battling your hurt, you are battling your offenses, the Most High isn't done with you. All of that mail, all of those prophetic messages are going to be positioned elsewhere until you battle for them energetically, until you move back into that chateau and get the hell out of that monastery. Because that's just not you in this life. There's nothing wrong with being a monk or a nun. But if that is not your assignment, everything is fucking wrong with it. Everything is wrong with it. Okay? So here's the thing. It sits for 30 to 60 years. You're battling for that shit. You're trying to get back to that chateau, right? You know where you're supposed to be moving into, but it's a journey. It's a journey, and that's cool, right? This is a shadow work type of journey because she was a shadow walker. She was walking around in the darkness, walking around in the dream state, walking around when you couldn't see her. You didn't know this. You didn't know this. Now, the workers that start opening the packages are essentially the high priests and high priestesses that are going to start to deliver clues to you that you are you. You are the receiver of this message. You are the sender, or you are supposed to be the sender of this message, right? Imagine that the same messages that I am putting out on Tennille Talks hit your soul so deeply because you know that these are the messages that you were supposed to be speaking. But you were corrupted in your dream state by shadow walkers. They planted seeds of change. They changed your energy. They changed your address to that of a monastery unconsciously. And now you got to move back into the chateau. And so when those postal workers are opening mail to find clues, those are the other high priests and priestesses that are trying to get you to understand you are either supposed to be the sender or the recipient of this message. Now it's time to auction. Guess what? Nobody can just walk up and take it because everybody ain't fit for a divine message. Everybody just can't walk up and take it. Okay? So there are only certain people that have to show that they can carry. All I'm saying is that energy doesn't disappear, and the Most High is going to get the energy and the message to where it has to go. Okay? You're fine, baby. Okay, hold on 1 second. Yep, I'll come get you some. Give me 1 second, okay? So the messages come to you. The messages come.
Can I be quiet here?
Yeah, baby, you can. Go ahead. All right, now, that's my love, Easton. So listen, the messages are going to come. All I'm saying is all is not lost. If it takes you 30 to 60 years to get your mail, to fix your address, let it be so. Because you have passed a test that she couldn't. Do you understand? This is justice. This is justice. All that mail comes back to you. All you got to do is be in that chateau, on the front porch, waiting for that mail truck to drive up. You got to expect it. You got to know it. You got to feel it. You got to trust it. You can't doubt it. Right? That's all you got to do. I say that's all you got to do. But listen, it can take 30 to 60 years to do it. It can take 30 to 60 years to do it. And so, y'all, I recognize that this was a heavy message, right? And so in many ways, it may have been a little slower in its unfolding. Right now, as I'm saying this, I see that it's at 54 minutes, okay? And so please, if you were able to stay from beginning to end, thank you. Thank you. I recognize the heaviness and the weight of this. So yes, imagine that the same mail that you were due to receive is the same mail that she was promised to get as long as you were not living in that chateau. As soon as you get back to that chateau, all the mail that is right, y'all, this is a crime. Stealing, altering, messing with mail of another, this is a federal offense. As above, so below. I want you to imagine all you got to do is get back to that chateau in order to get justice for the ways in which your divine mail, your prophetic messages, your prophetic dreams was messed with, tampered with, or altered by getting you to carry offense after offense after offense. When you carry the offense, you can no more carry the dream. I love you so much. I'll see you soon.